Straight ahead on WBKB News at 11.
The Michigan House of Representatives took time to honor our local first responders yesterday in light of 9/11.
Plus, Wings Over Alpena has been busy fundraising for their show next year.
And the Salvation Army is looking for donations to prepare for their annual winter coat giveaway.
We'll have those stories plus your local weather and sports. WBKB News at 11 starts now.
From Rogers City to Tawas City and all points in between, this is Northeast Michigan's award-winning news team. Your source for news, weather, and sports. We are WBKB News at 11.
Yesterday, some of our local first responders in the area were honored for their services by State Representative Peter Battaglia. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Idaluca.
And I'm Ashley Reed. Alpena Fire Chief Bill Forbush joined Battaglia in the Michigan House of Representatives annual memorial to remember the victims of September 11, 2001, and to recognize all the first responders in the state. In a statement released by Representative Battaglia, he said, quote, "I was honored to have Chief Forbush with me today to help pay tribute to the brave men and women who protect our families, communities, and country. These people daily put their lives on the line for our safety, so it is important to thank them for their service and sacrifices." A special tribute of 8 law enforcement, emergency services, and military personnel from Michigan killed in the line of duty during the past year were all honored by name at the service as well.
A new crossroad culvert was installed today at Worth Road and M65 with funding from the Department of Transportation. Crossroad culverts extend from one side of the road to the other under the asphalt and allow water to pass through. The new crossroad culvert installed today replaced a culvert that was originally installed in the 80s. A hole about 1 foot around had developed in the roadway, which often had to be repaired to prevent a major hazard.
Patching it pretty much all summer, it would reoccur once we had rain events. The hole would open up because of the dirt being sucked into the culvert.
There will be small incidental work on the sides of Worth Road and M65 continuing this week. However, the intersection is open for regular travel until next week when the new asphalt service will go on. The Alpena County Road Commission is planning on that asphalt patching to take place Wednesday of next week. Depending upon weather, one lane will remain open for traffic.
Wings Over Alpena is busy preparing for its show next year, hosting a 5K obstacle course event unlike any other. The Redneck Rush is the first of its kind, combining a 5K mud run with an obstacle course. And if that wasn't enough, participants will have to make it through the course while dodging water balloons from spectators. Proceeds from the event will go towards funding for Wings Over Alpena's 2014 show.
We rely heavily on sponsorships from and donations from the community. We do these fundraisers, and I'm sure a lot of other groups do these fundraisers just to kind of ease the burden.
Last year's air show cost around $165,000. White hopes with the help of the Redneck Rush and sponsors, they will be able to raise enough money. So far, 40 people have signed up to be a part of the race. Those who want to participate can sign up until the day of the race. The rush will take place at the Alpena Fairgrounds October 19th.
And WBKB 11 meteorologist Adam Claybon's here for our first look at weather. Adam?
Well, good evening, ladies. As we are looking at what's happening outside, it is starting to cool off. North-northwest winds are at 10 miles per hour. It's really breezy outside. Temperatures still in the 50s, 54 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, but you can take a look at that real field temperature already in the 40s, and as we head throughout the night, that will continue to drop. As we look at what's happening right now, though, across the rest of the nation, 67 in Chicago, 66 degrees in Pittsburgh. Right here, this is where the cool air is going through the middle of Michigan right now, going through right there in the middle of the mitten. That will continue to press its way on towards the south throughout the night, and by tomorrow night, that's when things really start to cool off, but we'll just find ourselves in the 40s for our overnight temperatures for right now. As we see that most of the rain has pushed off to our south, we could be dealing with some drizzle throughout the night, and as we can definitely see it up in the UP, but for us here, we'll continue to stay windy and dreary for our tomorrow's forecast, but most of the clouds start to push out of here late tomorrow, and that's when conditions really start to become favorable for seeing that patchy frost overnight. But when we get into next week, are we expecting temperatures to start to rebound and push their way back in the upper 70s and maybe even the 80s? I'll have your complete details as well as your full forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Adam. The Salvation Army of Alpena County and Shelter Inc. are starting to prepare for their annual winter coat giveaway. Donations are currently being accepted for new or gently worn coats. They are also accepting scarves, gloves, mittens, hats, and boots. They welcome all sizes from babies to bigger sizes such as XXL. They are looking to not only help out children but entire families just like they have in past years.
We gave out 364 coats last year to 143 families. And, you know, some years, last year was a bigger increase from the year before. If we could get between 500 and 600 coats, that would give us a good selection.
Those in need can pick up winter gear from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Tuesday, October 15th at the Salvation Army Church on 2nd Avenue in Alpena. Stoker says leftover coats will be given to needy families throughout the winter.
The Village of Hillman is pleased to have their first donation for a new park pavilion. Village manager David Post was presented with a $1,000 donation from the Wheels Car Club of Hillman last week. The car club's money was all raised during a car show during their VJ Day festival last weekend. The funds will begin their efforts to build a new attraction on Tripp Field to bring more people into the park.
We want to use it as a multi-purpose facility. We would like to do like band concerts there, maybe plays there, and then also have it be able to be rented out for family reunions or other organizational projects or functions.
Post hopes that this would be a step forward in bringing more people into their community. They've already begun applying for recreational grants to help cover the costs that will total anywhere between $60,000 and $80,000. Post says a preliminary plan has also already been drawn up.
The Department of Natural Resources is looking to receive public comment from select Northeast Michigan counties on proposed forest treatments for 2015. This past Tuesday, the DNR hosted an open house in Grayling to give an opportunity for residents of Alcona, Crawford, Iosco, and Oscoda counties to voice their opinions. The DNR evaluates 1/10 of the state forest each year. The age, health, quality, and quantity of trees and other vegetation are assessed to enable DNR staff to make proper management decisions. Recreational use, wildfire potential, and social concerns are topics taken into consideration during the review. Proposed treatments may include timber harvesting, replanting, and other management activities designed to ensure the sustainability of all forest resources. The DNR will complete its formal compartment review to decide on final treatment plans for these areas on November 6th of this year.
On this week's edition of Senior Moments, we learn about a chronic condition that affects roughly 5% of Americans and how to prevent it.
Senior Moments is brought to you in part by Rogers City Rehabilitation Hospital, Hillman's Haven, Alpena Cab, Alpena Medical Arts, and Wenzel Bennett and Harris PC.
Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, commonly referred to as COPD, is an acquired disease of the lungs that makes breathing difficult. Health professionals agree regarding COPD, oftentimes it is a preventable condition.
The primary risk factor is cigarette smoking. That causes 80% of the cases of COPD. The other 20% are due to environmental factors, and then some people have genetic deficiencies that make them more prone. Most of the time it's due to lifestyle.
COPD affects 5% of the population, but it is the third leading cause of death among Americans. Dr. Decker says in addition to not smoking and leading a healthy lifestyle, people need to visit their doctors on a regular basis to watch out for the onset of COPD.
Initially, when people have COPD, they may have no symptoms at all. They want to make sure that the older person gets in to see their doctor fairly regularly to make sure they're up to date with their immunizations, such as a pneumonia vaccine, a flu vaccine every fall.
If you suspect a loved one is experiencing COPD-like symptoms, Dr. Decker highlights key signs to look out for.
They may notice their loved one is more easily tired, not able to do the things that they're traditionally able to do because they're short of breath. They may experience a chronic cough, wheezing, tiredness.
Dr. Decker says there are no cures for COPD, but there are treatments available that can improve quality of life. Stay tuned next week for Senior Moments to learn more about the 4 different groups of COPD treatment options.
Senior Moments has been brought to you by Thunder Bay Therapy, ARMC Orthopedic Associates, Lafarge, Alpena Senior Citizen Center, and Lincoln Haven. Senior Moments, Thursdays at 6 and 11.
Well, as always, you can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on other news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night. We will check in with meteorologist Adam Claiborne for the weather forecast when we come back.
Plus, in tonight's Money Watch, 15% of homeowners still owe more on their mortgages than their homes are even worth. That story and more after the break. Thanks for joining us here tonight, everybody. In our state news for the evening, a number of downtown buildings in Detroit will remain closed today due to a power outage. City spokesman Bob Warfield says extreme heat, cable failure, and maintenance work combined yesterday afternoon to cause this overload. All city offices, including those inside the Coleman A. Young Municipal Center, were closed today, along with all divisions of the Wayne County Clerk's office in Midtown. Wayne State University's main campus is closed, along with the Detroit Historical Museum and Detroit's Public Library. Pretrial hearings at 36th District Court, along with arraignments at the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice, are scheduled to proceed. All others court matters are canceled for the day. Power restoration could take up to 24 hours, according to DTE Energy, which was helping city public lighting crews make repairs. The city's electrical grid is plagued by aging power transmission lines, which intermittently fail under the stress of high demand and heat. Temperatures in Detroit Wednesday topped 90 degrees.
And now it's time for some of today's top financial stories with your Money Watch. Nearly 15% of all homeowners are still underwater, meaning they owe more on their mortgage than their home is worth. When the housing bubble burst 5 years ago, it lopped upwards of 60% off some people's homes. Even a recent spike in prices is not enough to pump positive equity into these properties. Last quarter, Nevada had the highest percentage of homes underwater, followed by Florida, Arizona, Michigan, and Georgia.
And good news, it looks like soon you'll be able to actually purchase a piece of the Waldorf Astoria. The hotel operator Hilton Worldwide, which also owns DoubleTree and Embassy Suites, is going public later this year. No word yet on how many shares will be offered or their prices.
And it may only be September, but Walmart is out with its 20 hottest toys list for the holidays.
For the first time, the retailer let kids rate their favorites. Among the must-have toys, a robotic pet Furby, a Barbie Dream House playset, a hugging Elmo, and toys tied to television shows.
There is more to come on WBKB News. Travis Kozak will be in with the latest news in sports, but first, Adam Claiborne will return with your full weather forecast. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, everybody. Meteorologist Adam Claiborne has been keeping an eye on the weather for us, as always. Adam?
Okay, let's go ahead and look at what's happening with our temperatures. What we saw yesterday, 80 degrees was our high temperature, and the day before it was 95. So we have definitely come down from what we have been seeing over the past few days. 61 degrees was our low temperature yesterday, and things were today, they were on the cool side. 60 degrees was for some high temperatures across the region. 60 here in Atlanta, 63 in Miles, 71 degrees in Harrisville, while at 73 in Tawas City. So you can see where the cool air didn't quite make it in yet before the day did start to heat up in Tawas City. And the farther west you go, cooler temperatures you did have. For our current temperatures outside, we are at 56 in Oscoda, 53 as you go back into Atlanta, 51 degrees in Gaylord, more of the 40s in the UP, 48 in Iron Mountain, and 48 also in Escanaba. That is on its way here, and we'll feel that later on this evening. 12 miles per hour for a current wind in Houghton Lake, 15 in Oscoda, and what you're noticing right here is mostly a northerly component. So the cool air is right around here, first the really cool air, and then we'll start to get in on that other stuff a little bit later tonight. But winds will still be howling out of the northwest, which will make it feel even colder than what it is. But by the time you start to head out tomorrow morning, it's going to be on the chilly side. Make sure you do put a jacket on the kids, or even if you're going out yourself, as windshields to be right around the lower 40s or maybe even the upper 30s. Cool air continues to drain down from Canada. We'll continue to see that it makes its way all the way down here towards us, but right behind it, here comes more of the sunshine, and that will start to ease itself here for our Saturday's forecast, and we are expecting things to be quite warm for us in comparison to what we have been seeing over the past couple of days. Area of low pressure starting to push its way on off the east coast. Showers will be off to our east. We might be dealing with some chances of drizzle throughout the morning and early afternoon before things do start to clear up by late afternoon into tomorrow evening, as the clouds should start to break apart and allow mostly clear skies for tomorrow night. But here come more of the clouds by the time we head into Sunday's forecast, and it will be another system that will be providing about a 30 to 40% chance of rain. Not going to be expecting that much, not an all-day rain event, but it could be some just a moderate rain as it does push through the region, and it'll be one big band as another cold front comes through and starts to bring temperatures down yet again. If you're going to be heading out on the beach this weekend, well, Saturday looks like a very nice day for you, as winds will be light, waves less than a foot, temperatures on the cool side at 63 degrees. But Sunday we'll start to see more of those rain showers, southwest winds at 10 knots, and temperature will be at 67 degrees for that day. But futurecast is showing continuing to see that northwesterly flow. We'll be pushing all the clouds out of here, and by the time we get into later tomorrow evening, all the clouds are gone, and tomorrow night will be mostly clear, and that's when things really start to get chilly. Not that chilly though tonight. 42 degrees, widespread showers, very widespread. It's going to continue to be windy and also cold outside. Northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow's forecast, still expecting the winds to be high. Northwest winds at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Clouds will be breaking apart, and noticing that temperatures will be in the 50s, 57 in Oscoda, 55 degrees in Atlanta, and 58 for your high in Mile. And tomorrow night, well, there go the clouds. They're gone, and temperatures will start to drop because of it. 32 degrees here in Alpena, 46 in Rogers City, 41 in Atlanta, and 41 also for Mile. Our day planner will start off with the clouds. Just see fewer of the clouds during the afternoon, 54 degrees, and here comes the really cold stuff by tomorrow night, 32 degrees. But the sun will really start to warm us up by Saturday. Here come more clouds on Sunday, about a 20% chance of rain, and Monday and Tuesday look sunny.
All right, well, here comes the cold weather, I guess, huh? So we'll see. Well, thanks, Adam.
And now it's time for today's photo of the day. Today's photo was sent in by Tom Thomas of Harrisville. Tom sends us this breathtaking picture of the sunrise yesterday morning. Tom says the sunrise was a bit delayed due to the cloud bank. Even though it was delayed, the sunrise sure didn't disappoint. Thank you, Tom, for sending us this picture. If you have a photo you would like to send us, email a photo along with a short description to news@WBKB11.com.
And there's still much more to come here on WBKB News. In tonight's Health Watch, researchers are saying exercise may benefit those with depression. That full story and more when we come back. Thanks for stopping by here tonight, everybody. Now it's time for some of today's top medical stories with your Health Watch. Researchers see a connection between migraines and body weight. A study at Johns Hopkins tracked thousands of patients and found obese people were more than 80% more likely to have migraines, both chronic and occasional. Scientists say the findings suggest doctors should consider diet and exercise for treating migraines.
There's new evidence that exercise may help people struggling with depression. Researchers looked at dozens of trials and found moderate benefits. In fact, some of the smaller studies suggest exercise may be as effective in treating depression as psychological therapy or taking antidepressants. But researchers say more study is needed.
And doctors may have a new clue for predicting whether a woman's breast cancer is likely to reoccur. A new study looks at a genetic marker found in breast tumors. It can help identify which patients are most at risk for the reoccurrence. Doctors may be able to use that information to design ongoing treatment for those patients.
Moving into our national news tonight, a popular Jersey Shore town recovering from the effects of Superstorm Sandy is under siege again.
A raging fire burned up the boardwalk in Seaside Park. CBS's Vanita Nair reports from New York.
Plumes of thick black smoke swallowed a stretch of boardwalk real estate in Seaside Park, New Jersey. Flames broke out in Coors ice cream shop and quickly spread to nearby buildings over a span of several blocks. Workers say it came on fast and furious.
It was smoke coming up from under the boards. Nobody saw any flames.
Spectators watched in dismay, taking photos and videos with their smartphones. They gasped when this building came down.
There it goes.
Firefighters tried to reach the blaze from cherry pickers, but ocean winds and tar roofs fueled the flames, pushing the fire north to neighboring Seaside Heights.
This is the North Pier.
That's the same area where Superstorm Sandy ravaged the boardwalk and recreation center last year, thrusting a popular roller coaster into the ocean. Governor Chris Christie is promising state help.
I can only imagine how the residents and business owners in this area are feeling. My heart goes out to them. That's why I'm here.
Crews actually removed a section of recently replaced boardwalk to create a fire line.
It wasn't even finished being rebuilt, and it's gone. And it's heartbreaking, I think, for a lot of people.
Several firefighters and residents were treated for smoke inhalation. It's not yet clear what sparked the blaze. Vanita Nair, CBS News.
Some 400 firefighters from companies across the state joined in the effort.
Sports is coming up next, and Travis Kozik is here with a preview of what's ahead. Travis?
We'll hear from the Red Wings' Dan Cleary about his new contract with Detroit. Plus, we'll check in with the Rogers City football squad, which has gotten off to a very hot start this season. Stay right here on WBKB for all that and more as the news continues. The Rogers City football program has gone through a lot the past couple of years. Last season, the Hurons had to adjust to a new coach, and this season, they're playing in a new league for the second year in a row. But all of that change doesn't seem to be taking a toll on RC this fall. In just 2 weeks this season, the Hurons have already surpassed their win total from 2012, including a big road win over rival Onaway in Week 2. RC is averaging 26 points per game while allowing just over 13 points per contest, and the players and coaches agree they have seen a lot of growth from last year's 1-8 squad.
This year we're like more dedicated, I guess. We're working as a team better. We have people in the right positions this year. A lot of people have improved, and just the leadership's better too.
Everyone's just moving so much quicker. It's a fast-paced game we're playing this year, and it's working pretty good, I think.
RC faces a tough test tomorrow night hosting 2-0 Alcona, but the Hurons know the challenge the Tigers present, and they are excited for the big league matchup.
You know, we got to stop their running backs because they're going to run.
They're going to be a big team. They like to run the ball. We got to stop that. And I think we can do it if we can just jam the holes.
They've put up some big numbers and haven't been scored on, I know. So, I'm looking forward to it. I like to coach against a good staff. And they are that.
Let's head inside now. Posen hosting Oscoda in high school volleyball action tonight. The Lady Vikings start off hot in the first set. Mercedes Kowalski setting up Corinne Hinska for one of her 12 kills, extending the Vikings lead and helping them to a 25-18 win in set one. In the second, the Owls fight back. Oscoda moving the ball nicely to Paige Sen, who powers it past Hinska for the point, and Oscoda goes on to take the second set 25-19. The Owls and Vikings split the next two sets, forcing a fifth and final set, and in the fifth, Posen prevails. Monica Bartz with the kill right there en route to the 15-13 win in the final set, and Posen takes down Oscoda 3-2.
Just stop communicating, and with volleyball, communication is everything. If you don't have the communication, everything falls apart. Prime example was our game 2 and 3. The girls finally started talking again for sets 4 and 5, came back up with their intensity, brought everything back up, started having fun again, and came out with the win.
On the local pitch tonight, Alpena traveled to Gaylord, and the Wildcats picked up their second straight Big North Conference victory with a win over the Blue Devils. The Cats trailed 1-0 at the half, but scored 3 unanswered goals to open the second, resulting in the 3-2 win. Zach Kinjorski, Peter Guest, and Mitch Mead each scored for Alpena. The Wildcats now sit at 4-5-1 on the year and 2-3 in Big North play. Well, today was a big day for all NHL teams, with players hitting the ice for the first day of training camp. But over in Traverse City, there was even more excitement at Red Wings camp this afternoon, with Detroit and longtime Red Wing Dan Cleary agreeing to a new one-year deal. The forward's future with the Wings had been up in the air this offseason, with Cleary turning down a 3-year offer from Detroit back in July and recently undergoing talks with the Philadelphia Flyers. But now the 15-year NHL veteran is back in a Wings sweater. Cleary has spent the last 8 seasons in Detroit, tallying 9 goals and 6 assists in 48 games during the 2013 season, and ultimately he just couldn't leave Hockeytown.
I was ready to go to Philly, and then I just couldn't go, and I just decided to come out and meet Babs and Kenny to get closure on the situation. I had to know deep in my heart, was it going to happen?
He's obviously had some opportunities with other organizations. He wanted to be a Red Wing and ultimately signed a one-year deal. Tells you about his passion for Detroit and for our organization and for his teammates.
So the Red Wings will be in Traverse City for the next week or so during training camp. That means that games are less than a month away. I'm excited. I know you're excited as a hockey fan as well.
Absolutely.
And living up here, you will become a hockey fan.
I know, I'm excited to become a hockey fan. As I come from Indianapolis, it's never been a big thing there, so I really am excited to get to know the sport a little better.
All right. Yep. Well, here we go. Thanks, Travis. Yep. And coming up on WBKB News, meteorologist Adam Claybon will be back with our final look at weather.
Plus, hundreds of people in Kalamazoo climbed hundreds of stairs yesterday morning to raise money for fallen firefighters. Find out more after the break.
Thanks for joining us here tonight, just in time for our last look at weather with meteorologist Adam Claybon.
Well, tomorrow morning it's going to be very windy. Some of you guys already felt it tonight, and we'll go to sleep and we'll wake up tomorrow morning still hearing the blustering of the wind and just breezing all over the place. So let's go ahead and look at it right now. We'll see a high of 54 degrees tomorrow, so not as warm as today. And tomorrow night, temperatures will fall off, but it won't be any wind. So whatever you feel outside will actually be the air temperature. But heading into this weekend, here comes more of the sunshine and even more of the rain showers by Sunday. And then after that system pushes through, we'll have another shot of cold air and pushes back down in the lower 60s. So not as strong as this past one, but we'll still be expecting to get those numbers back down.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye on that for us.
All right,
there you go.
Will do.
All right, and moving into our final story of the night, hundreds of people in Kalamazoo endured a grueling feat yesterday morning in honor of victims of 9/11.
People came from far and wide. Some even drove in from out of state to climb 110 stories of stairs at Wing Stadium, the same number of stories there were in the World Trade Center. While climbing, each person wore a tag that had the name and photo of one of the 343 firefighters killed on 9/11. The climb was 1,500 steps. When everyone reached the 78th floor, the highest any firefighter made it on 9/11, they rang a bell. Participants said it was not an easy feat, but they felt like it was something they had to do. This memorial stair climb was hosted by the Kazoo Fools, an organization for local firefighters. The money raised will go to the surviving families and coworkers of the 343 firefighters who died on September 11th.
And that's very honorable.
Yeah,
so
very
I like
neat.
that.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that'll do it for us here tonight. Have a great night.